Now to Brazil, where an endangered river has gained personhood in the fight to protect it. The Komi Memem River, named Laje on non-indigenous maps, is vital to the people who have inhabited the western Amazon for centuries. In June, the municipality of Guajara-Mirim passed a groundbreaking law led by Councilman Francisco Oro that was to designate the Komi Memem and its tributaries as living entities with rights, including maintaining their natural flow and protecting the forest around it. The councilman says his village no longer drinks water directly from the river due to pollution from cattle farms and soybean crops. He hopes the new law will protect the water and the surrounding lands. And those are the headlines for the ICT Newscast. In Canada, wildfire evacuation orders are still in place for many First Nations territories. APTN's Carly Schogner talked with two longtime friends as they shared their thoughts on traditional fire management and mental health.
Longtime friends Julie Beaver of Fort Smith and Faye Avagana of Hay River, originally from Inuvik, found themselves both evacuating to Fort Resolution, grateful to be out on the land rather than out of territory and in a city. Beaver describes the day they were told to evacuate Fort Smith, August 13th.
It was like the apocalypse, as a lot of people would say. Like, it was really eerie, and it was early evening, so it was interesting to look at the sky and see how dark it was and red, and then you look at your time, and it was like 4 in the afternoon.
Avigana said she's not new to experiencing natural disaster evacuations, including having gone through the May 2022 flash floods. She's learned she didn't want to choose a city hotel evacuation and to keep busy helping community.
Despite being displaced again for the 4th time, I am grateful that I'm here because the third time that I was evacuated, I had gone to Yellowknife and was in a hotel room, and I was grateful that they covered our hotel, but it was what they said. It wasn't what was comfortable for me, right? Being out at Mission Island in Fort Resolution has been a blessing for me because I am enjoying the cultural week that is going on there, and I pray a lot for the communities that are affected. I pray for protection for my family that's traveling through fires.
We are really connected to the land, and we spend a lot of time out at our cabin north of Fort Smith. And for me, being here, I've just really tried to think about, how to stay connected. Like, I've gone out picking spruce gum. My daughter and I, we made our way to the water today, to the Great Slave Lake, and offered prayers and tobacco.
Using Starlink to call because of telecommunication outages, they urge authorities to make evacuation announcements much sooner so that there is less panic, and that authorities take seriously going to elders and knowledge keepers on traditional burning practices going forward.
Well, growing up, my dad was a firefighter, and so I've heard a lot of stories about how, there's been fires throughout history, but they've never been allowed to get as big as these fires have been. I think these are the biggest in NWT's history, to take as many things with the fire, to take as many trees as it's taken. Driving through the burn, there's the trees that we cut down last year for our firewood. It's no longer is there thought into that now we will have to travel further to get the firewood to keep us warm in the winter in both places. So my dad burns wood in his house in Fort Smith, and we burn wood out at the cabin. It's a trek already by snow machine to go and get firewood. I don't know where we're going to go and get, or how long it's going to take for us to get the firewood. So it's those kinds of things. Like there has to be some kind of a balance, and how do we get that back? I believe it definitely belongs with bringing in the elders and talking about it. What's happening right now with the government is you have these young people who finish their masters and think that they know everything, and they're not willing to talk to the elders. That's the way we were raised, is the elders have the knowledge. They hold the knowledge, and it has to come back to that, or we're not going to have a place to live in anymore.
The mothers remain grateful for the Fort Resolution hospitality. Carly Schogner, APTN National News, Inuvik.
Tamara St. John worked for years to get the remains of one of her tribal ancestors returned home from a cemetery at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. The road seemed headed for a dead end, but with some help from attorneys at the Native American Rights Fund, it ended in a historic pact that added ceremony to Carlisle repatriations. St. John spoke with ICT's Stuart Huntington last week about the effort.
This has been a 6-year battle to try to find a means to facilitate this. The Native American Rights Fund people had been able to break through for us and build that bridge with the Army to even have the conversation to develop an agreement. Sisseton, Wahpeton, and Spirit Lake are one family. We are under the same treaty of February 19th, 1867, and our battle has been to be able to do things together in the way that we know that we need to do, with our spirituality, with our protocols, using our resources and our experts to be able to do this and bring them home. And, the ongoing conversations have been confusing. Our communication has been sporadic at best over this 6 years. And if you recall, the Army's policy of next of kin really doesn't work. It doesn't work for most people. They have resulted in this long 6 years, a 6-year wait to bring them home because we weren't able to at one point find the actual name of the father of one of them, or the fact that there are no historical records in 1879 that would name a child. It's an immense undertaking to try to meet that Army policy standard. We as a tribe have that right to be able to facilitate these things in the best interest of our families, our community, and our children. We know best. We know how to take care of our people, and to let us do these things in a way that honors our spirituality.